Cars on the grid ahead of the Miltech Sport Volkswagen Racing Cup, about to get underway here, and on pole position on the right hand side is David Sutton, the man who is now leading the championship as the green flag lap gets underway. Joe Fulbrook is alongside him on the front row of the grid. This is our penultimate race of the day, and third on the grid is the winner from the race this morning, Jack Walker-Tully. And fourth is Joe McMillan. We'll have fifth on the grid is Lucas Orrock, car number 33. As the VW Racing Cup continues, as far as the championship is concerned, it is David Sutton who leads the championship standings after 5 races of the season so far. And this is round number 6 of the championship. Aaron Mason is second in the standings, quite a way back. David Sutton has 216 points, Aaron Mason has 190. Joe McMillan, Lucas Orrock, Joe Fulbrook and Jack Walker-Tully complete the top 6, and they are pretty much, I think, the top 6 that we've got on the grid today. So all the championship front runners right up at the front, and we can have a look at the grid now. It's a long old grid with 29 entries. David Sutton will be on pole position, Joe Fulbrook alongside him, Jack Walker-Tully starting in 3rd spot, Joe McMillan 4th, Orrock Mason completing the top 6, then Michael Epps in 7th, Phil House in 8th, Paul Ivans in 9th, Simon Rudd completing the top 10. Then in 11th position we got Bobby Thompson. Chris Paniatu started on pole for the second race but ended up slipping a little bit backwards and ended up in 12th position. Laura Tillett starting in 15th spot as she has her first season in saloon cars. Simon Deaton and Mark Smith completing the top 20. And then Phil Morris will start in 21st position. Graham Ewing will be starting in 23rd place in the number 2 car. And then right at the back of the grid we have Damani Meccano in the Golf, who struggled in qualifying, only managed to get 5 laps completed as opposed to the 11 of the likes of Joe Fulbrook, who is the defending champion in the VW Cup, having won 3 championships so far. He won his 5th ever race at Knock Hill back in 2005 in his first year racing with the Volkswagen Racing Cup, and since then he's gone on, as I say, to win 3 championship titles. In the race earlier on, Jack Walker-Tully in car number 99, the man starting 3rd on the grid, he took a commanding victory in the car that his cousin James Walker won the 2012 VW Racing Cup title in there. That's a green and black 99 Scirocco. Joe Fulbrook in the Golf in 2nd on the grid. Is the only Golf in the top 6. Split pretty much 50-50 between the Golfs and Scirocco's. We do occasionally get a new Beetle out, but I don't think that has come out for this weekend. Andrew Smith in the 46 car usually comes out in the new Beetle, but doesn't look like he's racing this weekend.
What would you go for if you had the choice, Scirocco or Golf? What would you go out in?
Scirocco looks cool.
Scirocco looks cool, doesn't it?
Scirocco looks cool, and it's
still a Golf underneath.
But it's starting on pole position. It's starting on pole position. So that's all there is to it, really, as we get ready for racing. So the penultimate race of the day here on Motors TV is about to get underway. On pole position is David Sutton on the right-hand side in the all-black Scirocco. Alongside him on the front row, the black and white Golf of Joe Fulbrook, the defending champion, who's lying down in 5th place in the standings so far. We've got the 5-second board up. Walker-Tully and Joe McMillan are on row 2. Then it's Orrock and Mason on row 3 as the race gets underway, and it is a very good start from pole for David Sutton, easily moving into the lead of the race. It's a good start from Joe McMillan in the blue car on the outside as they come into the banking for the first time. Very good start as well up the inside. I think it's coming at Lucas Orrock in 5th place, trying to make up position as they come under braking now. We go on board with Orrock.
Following the Golf that in front of him is actually the Scirocco in front of him. That's the diesel one, and it's chucking black smoke out again, but it goes from the back of the grid. Look on the left, chucking out smoke. And what a stonking start. And
through goes Jack Walker-Tully into the lead of the race, up the inside line, into the right-hander there at Yendwood. So it looks as though Jack Walker-Tully's got through into the lead. He won the race earlier on. There he is in the black and green machine. He leads the way. Second place then is our poleman David Sutton. In third now is Joe Fulbrook. as they filter down through the double left-hander. Still a massive grid, isn't it? 29 cars, and Fulbrook's going to be under a bit of an attack now as they come into the left-hander. Might be Aaron Mason, I think, that's up right behind him as they swing into the left-hander of Gracelands and down towards the hairpin. And I think Fulbrook's the man who needs to be careful because he's got an awful lot of pressure from behind. Little nose towards the inside line. And it is Aaron Mason, but he's not quite close enough to get through into that third place for the time being. So,
Phil House in fifth as well, doing a great job. Used to mechanic for me with Bincliffe in the Clio, so he's doing a great job and has been racing for many years in the VW Cup now. So yeah. After saying Lucas Orrick got a good start, I think he ended up getting quite a bad start in the end because he's now down behind Joe McMillan after starting in 5th position. He is down in 7th position now as they come out across the line. Walker-Tully leads, Sutton, Fulbrook, Mason, House, McMillan and Orrick the top 7. Then a bit of a gap back to the 22 car of Howard Fuller as we go on board with Lucas Orrick through the first turn and down towards the hairpin at Dean. Oh, a little bit of a rear lock-up from Phil House. Keeps it all together though. It's only the right rear locking up though as he's coming off the banking. That is the wheel that's basically not under any load, so it sort of just picks up a wheel and just slightly locks up.
Lucas Orrick was second in his debut season in cars last year. 2-time winner of the British Kart Grand Prix, so he's certainly got a racing pedigree. As these cars look great going through the pit path, don't they? Yeah. Really leaning around. And Aaron Mason is right up behind Joe Fulbrook. He looks very keen to try and get past. Meanwhile, Jack Walker-Tully seems to have really got into the groove this weekend and is starting to pull a bit of an advantage already over the second place man, David Sutton, in the Slide Sports Scirocco. And that's Chris Paniatu. A shame for the Hertfordshire man, former Clio Cup racer. He's had one podium in his golf, in his VW Racing Cup career at Silverstone last year, but he's not going to get one today. Here comes Joe Fulbrook looking to the inside line to get past David Sutton, late on the brakes, not quite close enough, and that could compromise him because Aaron Mason now will be very keen to get through, but it's sort of so one line through that chicane, you can't really get too much of a better exit compared to some other corners.
Yeah, you can make the move stick if you're good enough on the brakes, but yes, as you said, it's very single file through there, and if you then do the move, you're slower on the exit, and then you get pounced upon around turn 1, which is the banking we're looking at right now, following our leaders. So yes, it's a bit of catch-22.
Fulbrook in the inside, in the blue and white car, about to take, oh, that's brave, isn't it, from Aaron Mason, sticking his nose in, but he might be able to get that place away as well from David Sutton. So the pole man shuffled back to 4th place, Joe Fulbrook up to 2nd, Mason up into 3rd with a very, very brave little to stick your nose in there when the two cars were coming together. Good stuff from Mason, and he's up into 3rd, and that means that Sutton has dropped down into 4th position just in front of Phil House, who's having a really strong run.
Yeah, very strong run. Great striking design as well, with those green sort of flicks around the front light area on his sort of silvery white car that we can see there.
But leading the way is the black and green Cookham Mason Scirocco of Jack Walker-Tully, the 22-year-old from Tuxford. Turns into the left-hander and down towards the hairpin at Tarzan, and he is really quite comfortably clear now. Very
comfortable lead, nearly just over 2, well, just under 2 seconds at the moment, but I think he might have pulled out a little bit more on this lap. He's got the fastest lap, 1:37.6.
We'll see what Joe Fulbrook can do now. He's got a bit of clear air though, because maybe he was just being held up a little bit by David Sutton. The grid was formed from second best qualifying times as they come out onto the start-finish straight once again here at Rockingham. 15 minutes to go in this 20-minute race, and it's nose to tail for second place. Across the line comes Fulbrook in 2nd, but he's got Aaron Mason right up behind him now.
Fulbrook very experienced though, knows these cars inside out, knows pretty much everyone in the championship as well, been doing it a while. As you said, defending his championship.
And Mason's going in deep, deep, deep. Keeps it on the black stuff, luckily.
Very nearly went on the mud there. Very nearly.
4 championships between these two. 3 for Fulbrook, 1 for Aaron Mason in 2013. Who's been quick right from the off. He was 3rd in his debut season back in 2009. but the number 8 car there of Aaron Mason, a very, very quick driver, but no one at the moment can deal with Jack Walker-Tully flashing through shot, because we're not even really bothering focusing on him because he's disappearing up at the front of the field. The battle's on for second place, the battle's on further back as well. A decisive move up the inside from Lucas Orrock as he takes 5th place away from Phil House, and after a difficult start, Orrock is trying to climb his way back up the order a little bit. House is still lurking in there. He needs to be careful because Joe McMillan's right behind him. There's our race leader coming down, and then are we going to see a move from Joe McMillan to try and get past Phil House as well down into the hairpin? Also involved in that fight is Howard Fuller, right at the back of the pack in the white and green 22 car in the Team Hard machine, and I think Howard Fuller's going to, well, not quite, is he going to get past? I don't think he's quite going to manage it, because it looks as though Joe McMillan will have the inside line, but he's done it.
No, he's done it.
Very good.
I was just about to say, no, not round the outside, no chance. But he's gone and done it.
A very modified front splitter as well, by the looks of things.
Yes, lots of black tank tape being used for that one.
Which is a legacy of an incident earlier in the day. Racing's still not over here, because now there's the attack on Phil House, and that is job done by the looks of things for Howard Fuller. He goes past Phil House. House will get the cut back.
2 moves in 2 corners.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, great. He really is on a mission, this, so we need to keep an eye out for the 22 car of Fuller.
The 22-year-old from Surrey, who's raced in T-cars and Formula Palmer Audi in the past.
And he's extremely tall. Worked with him at Palmer Sport over the years. He's like 6'4", so he's a really tall lad, bless him.
He's actually got a very good record here. He won on his VW Racing Cup debut here in 2010.
And in touring cars as well. He raced one of the Civics in the touring cars as well.
And we're out. We're out of Howard Fuller facts now. I think we've just gone through all of them, but that's your lot for the rest of the race. So let's hope he sort of settles down now. He's then up into 6th place then. Still Joe Fulbrook can't shake Aaron Mason, and still Jack Walker-Tully is setting fastest lap after fastest lap. His advantage up at the front is up to 2.6 seconds. And that's good news as far as his championship is concerned, because he's down in 6th place in the standings at the moment. He's starting to slip back. He did start in 8th position, and now he is under attack to drop back into that 8th place. So you could say sort of back to his sort of natural position.
What you'll find with any motorsport or any one-make championship like this, for example, you set the car up to be really quick for a few laps, and then it slowly goes off, or you set the car and then it come on the race to do with tyre pressures, the way they get up to temperature. So Phil obviously has set the car up to be really quick for the first 4 or 5 laps, which is exactly where we're at now. And he's slowly dropping back. Yeah, really is dropping back quite quickly, which is a real shame. It would have been nice to have seen him a bit further up.
That's Jason Tingle going past Phil House as well. House, a good record here too. He had his best result here last year, a 6th position, but he's not going to match that today, I don't think, the 2002 Monoposto champion. But now it's nose to tail with Sutton and now Lucas Orrock that we're on board with. So Sutton in 4th, Orrock, the man we're on board with, in 5th.
So we're in 3rd corner for that hairpin.
Now he's not going to be close enough to look to the inside here, but maybe down into Tarzan. Safety car deployed. So somewhere out there, there's been a bit of a melee or an issue. And so a look up the inside there, and through goes Lucas Orrock after, I think, the safety car boards had gone out. So he may well be well advised. Put that back in. Oh, there we go. There's a car up on the inside. I wonder if that's Phil House. He's on the run from the left-hander of Graceland's.
Yes, he is. Yeah, just tucked up inside the Armco barrier there.
And so I do. We'll see when they come through whether that is Phil. No, it's not. It's 17. So that is a retirement for Paul Ivans in the Scirocco, and he's come to a halt there. The privateer.
Could have put it on the grass.
That is the end of his race.
Could have tucked it out of the way.
Now let's have a look at this. It looked as though the safety car boards, I'd already declared a safety car, and I know that doesn't mean anything, but you know, we'd seen the safety car announcement. Are there any yellow flags around here?
No, because the incident's behind us, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but when the safety car comes out, the yellows go out everywhere, and it's there where he sees his first safety car and yellow flag there. So
there wasn't a yellow. That was the first yellow, I'm pretty sure, that he saw, unless we couldn't see it because he was overtaking that car and the marshal's post was hidden. We will see.
So that's one for the race
stewards
directors to discuss. Yeah, absolutely. So 9 minutes to go, safety car deployed, and already they are towing the car of Paul Ivans away. There's Bobby Thompson, the 18-year-old son of Legends racer Paul. He's had Fiesta and Formula Ford outings in the past, and now is running a little bit down the order. 13th position for Bobby Thompson at the moment. Safety car is out, but hopefully the safety car should, well, in this lap might be a bit ambitious, but literally just up the road is the recovery going on.
Literally we are chasing the recovered car.
So I don't think they'll quite be able to get racing back underway this time around. The safety car is trying to slow down so that the recovery truck can carry on. The recovery truck's trying to slow down to let the safety car through. So hopefully they can just pull off into the school here on the left-hand side, into the school pits, and then they can turn the lights off on the safety car and we can go racing. But doesn't look like it's quite going to work out that way, unfortunately. So lights still on the safety car, so we might get one more lap behind the safety car here at Rockingham. Penultimate race of the day. We're behind the safety car here at Rockingham in the Volkswagen Racing Cup, third round of the day. And it's Jack Walker-Tully who'd built up a good advantage up at the front, but that's now been eaten away by Joe Fulbrook, who's now right up behind him. In third place is Aaron Mason, fourth is Lucas Orrock, who did sort of technically overtake under the safety car, but he hadn't seen any yellow flags when it happened. We don't to penalise him, but we'll thank goodness, because I'd get them all wrong. But Lucas Orrock is running in fifth place. Howard Fuller is in sixth position.
Very aggressive way of warming up his tyres as well. He's just trying to get the rear to react, so he's turning in very aggressively to try and get the rear to react to see how much grip and heat he's got in those rear tyres. And
I think Orrock has let Sutton back through, hasn't he now? So Sutton's back into fourth position and Orrock is down into fifth, because he was battling Sutton over that fourth spot. So
there must have been some flags there that we couldn't quite see from our onboard footage earlier.
So he has let him back through. And so this is a look at Lucas Orrock on board with him as he comes over the line, saying what's going on. So that'll be him trying to gesticulate to someone, saying, why did I have to let David Sutton back through, please?
That's what that'll be.
That's my sort of hand language.
Italian reading. I'm not happy. Yes. Hey, what's going on there?
Didn't know you did accents.
Well, not really that well either.
So safety car still out. Hopefully it should be coming in this lap. Yeah, I think the lights are off on the safety car, so the safety car in this lap. 6 minutes to go in the penultimate race of the weekend. Jack Walker-Tully leading the way. Joe Fulbrook in second as he gets ready to launch it and head off. Down into the final chicane they come, and I think he's gone for it, Walker-Tully. The safety car peels into the pit lane and racing gets back underway here at Rockingham. 5.5 minutes to go in the Volkswagen Racing Cup. The green flag is waved, and it wasn't a particularly strong start from Joe Fulbrook in second place. I think he still thought that Walker-Tully was waiting to go, but then in the end didn't quite manage to go with him. So if anything, he's under pressure from Aaron Mason behind, and then behind them is David Sutton, who looks to the inside. Mason looks to the inside too. Neither of them quite close enough. Lucas Orrock hovering around in fifth position to try and take advantage.
massive respect. The driving standard is very, very high. You'd expect at least 3 or 4 of those to clout into each other at that hairpin. You would really expected it to. You've got all the bodywork around you. You know, they all watch the touring cars, I'm sure, on the odd weekend on telly, and you know, everyone tries to imitate that, but they do have their own sort of set of rules. Drivers' briefings are getting much stricter. This is a non-contact sport, we're told in drivers' briefing, and it, you know, it is good that people are listening and it is working.
A little spot of rain, it looks of it, on that previous camera lens, but the sun is pretty clear, the sky is pretty clear, so I'd be surprised. Oh, someone running very, very wide out the back there. I think that might have been Graham Ewing. Yes, it was, in the number 2 Slide Sports Golf, and manages to keep it all together. Only occasional appearances over the last couple of years, Graham Ewing, but good to have him here in the championship, running down in 12th place. Well, he was in 12th place before he ran wide, there we go, as we go on board with Lucas Orrock, down into the chicane, tucked right up behind David Sutton. Again, look, you take a wide line in, but it never doesn't quite seem to work out for you. It has this time, though.
He's got a good run here, yeah, he's sort of got a good run, yeah, so Sirocco versus Sirocco.
But look at Jack Walker-Tully, he's pulled out a 2-second advantage on that last lap, as we now head down towards the corner at turn number 2, the hairpin, as they get on the brakes. Lights come on, and this is Joe Fulbrook under big pressure from Aaron Mason. Bit of a lock-up further back. Everyone's made it around by the looks of things.
I heard a lock-up and then a thud. I did actually hear a thud, whether it was a rear bumper into someone or into the tyres, but that was a very long, prolonged screeching of tyres.
It wasn't into the tyres, because there's no one in the tyres looking out the window, so it might have been a bit of contact further back in the pack. But Joe Fulbrook running in 2nd place at the moment. Jack Walker-Tully is disappearing up the road. There's a look from Lucas Orrock up the inside, forcing his way past Mason. We go on board with Orrock now as he completes the move. He's up into 4th place. This time he can keep it with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. Joe Fulbrook is under an awful lot of pressure still from Aaron Mason, coming down into the hairpin at Tarzan.
Orrock will be happy with that. That was a really good move through pit path, got the lunge done, and let's go for the next one. So we're in 4th place, 5th place, sorry, 5th place, and
it is 4th. He just took 4th.
Sorry, just taken 4th, and gesticulating unhappiness because he overtook under yellow for the safety car. Upset that he had to give that position back, and just did a very, very clean move up the inside of Kirby. Fantastic move, textbook, brilliant, well done.
I think David Sutton also has lost out to Howard Fuller as well in that taped up Golf, and as a result, yeah, Sutton is now down into 6th position. Half a second pretty much between everyone except Jack Walker-Tully and the rest of the pack, because he's 2.6 seconds clear up at the front. We're on board with Lucas Orrock. That's the battle over 2nd position we can see in front of us. And it is a close battle. When they dive down there, they're sort of bottoming it out, aren't they, on the front bumpers?
It is actually very, very steep. I don't know, have you ever been round Rockingham before at all?
Yes, I have actually.
It's a it really does make you dip, you know, and the suspension really works, and you sort of hear it bang as it goes down from the banking. So on board again. Is he going to make the move? Is he going to make the move stick? Slightly too far back, but he's very good through here and on the brakes.
Oh, that's not gone well, has it? That is Matthew Wilson off in front of us, and then couldn't quite make out the second car. Is that 66, the other car of Pete Littler? Can't quite make out that neon lights, neon numbers. I can't make that. Maybe it's my eyesight, but I think it might be 66. Let's have a look at what happened. It's the 31 car is Matthew Wilson. Oh, the two of them have gone in.
Both of them.
Not quite sure how they've managed to do that. They must have come together on the exit of the corner and lost it and ended up in the barriers.
I didn't even see the Sirocco hiding behind the Golf there. It was like hidden. All of a sudden another car appeared.
Down into the chicane they come. We've got 40 seconds left on the clock, so Jack Walker-Tully comes out of the final corner to start his final lap of the race. Walker-Tully with a huge advantage over Joe Fulbrook, 2.8 seconds, but now Lucas Orrock is closer this time around to Aaron Mason than he was previously. Grabs a gear and keeps the foot planted on the run down towards the hairpin. But still, it's Mason who's closer to Fulbrook. Lock up further back in the battles behind.
As they negotiate their way around the debris.
And
that
look
white
at that.
Scirocco still pouring black smoke out of it.
David Sutton has lost out to Tingle now as well. So Sutton, who started on pole position in the Slide Sports Scirocco, dropping back and back and back. Now, final lap of the race.
Are we
what
do
can
it?
Lucas Oreck do?
Get ready. Oh, he sort of showed on nose up the inside there, but not quite.
Mason sort of saw it coming, didn't he? It was, just to cross the I's and dot the T's, it was Pete Littler, the former rally winner, who ended up in the crash barriers along with Matthew Wilson. They are both, well, one's in the pits, one's still going, but here comes Jack Walker-Tully down to Tarzan for the final time. I don't think we're going to have any movement further back, although Joe McMillan was right up behind David Sutton as they came into the right-hander. Not quite close enough to get through though, as we go on board with Lucas Oreck, still in 4th position. It doesn't look like he's going to make the move on Aaron Mason as they come towards the chicane for the final time. But Jack Walker-Tully is about to take his 2nd win of this race weekend. A superb performance from Walker-Tully out of the final corner. He has dominated here at Rockingham and he wins in the 3rd race of the weekend in the Volkswagen Racing Cup. It's 2nd for Joe Fulbrook, 2 seconds further back. Then it's Aaron Mason in 3rd, Lucas Oreck 4th. Howard Fuller finishes in 5th position. Good drive from Howard Fuller. Yeah, it is a good drive because he started down in 13th place and finishes in 5th. Then Wilson across the line 6th, Tingle, Sutton, McMillan and Michael Epps completing the top 10. Phil House, after a strong start, ended up getting shuffled down to 11th position, but really strong win for Jack Walker-Tully. He disappeared earlier on. When he started sort of from pole, it was sort of damp conditions, so you never really know. But then in the dry, he's bossed this one. Yeah,
absolutely bossed it. Got a really good restart as well from the safety car, and just sort of pulled away. Just literally left them all for dead. There he is, giving them away. Flash of the lights. Walker-Tully ablazoned on the side of his car. Yeah, absolutely faultless that. Well done to him.
Yeah, so great performance.
And a great move from our onboard camera as well. Some really good lunges there from the young man. Yeah.
Lucas Oreck had a really strong run from Cambridgeshire, so not too far from Rockingham. Maybe not quite his home circuit, maybe Snetterton later in the year, but nevertheless a really strong performance. So Walker-Tully taking victory, and it's very rare that you see such a commanding victory like that in single make championships like this.
Yeah,
Here's a look